Hi everybody, my pronouns are they, them. I've been a public housing tenant for 30 years and I'm in the estate 82 Wentworth Park Road, Glebe. And I knew straight away when I was told that they were going to survey the property for possible redevelopment back only last year that it was because of gentrification and colonisation. I had seen all these different buildings being taken down over a period of time around me. I'd seen what's happening in Redfern and, you know, the new Pyrmont Fish Market that no one really needs. It's just a tourist thing. And I live the closest to that new construction that's happening. That wasn't even going to go ahead before COVID happened. And then all of a sudden it was accelerated to the fore, and now we've got this new Pyrmont Fish Market happening. No one's going to benefit from it. And it's the same thing with my estate. When they demolish the estate that I live in, no one in my community is going to benefit from the so-called new building. It's going to be probably affordable housing, and what the sorry is that? I mean, it's ambiguous, right? Affordable housing is not affordable to most people. It's really disgusting. And so they sell it as one thing, but it's really not that thing that they're calling it. The only model that works is public housing. Public housing is affordable housing. Public housing is community housing. You know, we don't need all these little separate social housing terms under that umbrella. We just need public housing. So anyway, so we, as the previous person spoke about, we had an occupation where I'm living. And it was really good because, you know, I got to discuss things that I normally don't get to discuss with people. I felt supported. And that's not something normally I feel living there because of basically Department of Community Justices. What the hell is that name? And that, you know, it's a vicious cycle. Department of Community Justices is just there to criminalise people. It's part of the jail system, it's part of DOCS, it's part of so many other things that just criminalise people, especially First Nations people. I mean, in every step of any of these things, First Nations people are the most impacted. And anyway, so yeah, as I said, I've lived there for 30 years. I've developed a community. I've never had that before. I'm 60 years old. I've never had a community really until this. And several people have died. It is simply disgusting that people would feel that their life is so bad that they don't want to live anymore. And also during the relocation process, one of my neighbours was moved out last year and he became a lot more stressed. He had a lot more falls and ended up having aggressive brain cancer. And every step of the way I've been there for him. I've taken on the cat that he was the second owner of. The first owner died last year. Yes, he had a long-term addiction issue, but I believe that this process of what they're doing to us is what's caused their deaths. Just prior to the announcement, another neighbour committed suicide. And I believe he probably knew what was coming, and he was a very traumatised person, as is most of the tenants that are there now and the tenants that have been moved out already. There's been a lot of bullying and gaslighting through this process towards me, other tenants. So when the occupation happened, I was so pleased, but unfortunately, Rose Jackson has made some very wishy-washy statements, and until the DA is pulled and we see actual change as in the documents, then I will not believe a thing that she said. ex. You know, she's been to the building. I showed her around the building before the election. We had a table discussion as well with other public housing tenants from Waterloo, Solidarity to Waterloo, and anybody else that is subject to this disgusting displacement. And, you know, public housing should be for everyone. What else was I going to talk about? Oh, and this Communities Plus bullcrap. One of the first things I said to the relocation person who had on their business card Communities Plus, I said, oh, you mean Communities Minus? I mean, how dare they have on a business card Communities Plus when you're breaking communities? I mean, it's a very real thing, and especially as a marginalised person, I've got a disability as well. I may look all great and everything, but, you know, that's how I came into public housing, because I have a disability. I grew up in private. I know the difference. And, you know, they just take advantage of people. And, you know, so for the students that are struggling to get housing in the city, for the workers that are struggling to get housing in the city, everybody should be able to have public housing. It's a model that's worked in many countries. Some countries have 100% public housing. Some countries have about 80% public housing. It should be something that's extended and defended. You know, refurbish our properties, sure, because they haven't been maintained adequately in all the years that I've been there. And yeah, keep fighting, everyone. We've got to get this changed.
Thanks so much, Caroline. And the hands off bleed table here, if people can go over and sign the letter petition to save Wentworth Park Road, that'd be great. And look, I was fortunate to be part of last week's